Fatma likes playing dolls and house, like any girl her age, anywhere in the world. In a whisper, she smiles and confides to me that she likes school. She's a good student and, one day, she hopes to be a doctor. But her fate is sealed. In a couple more years, she will be playing house for real. At only 11 years old, she has been bought and paid for, betrothed by her father to a local man in exchange for the equivalent of $6,000. Fatma lives in northwestern Afghanistan. Across her nation, families are buckling under the blows of a global food shortage. Regionally, the crisis is compounded by a severe drought. The fiercest winter in 40 years killed 100,000 head of livestock. Many rural agricultural economies are on the verge of collapse, and people are hungry and running out of options. Grain prices are skyrocketing. Farmers have nothing to feed their livestock, and prices for sheep, goats, and cattle are plummeting. Millions of international donor dollars go to curtailing opium poppy cultivation in the south. But little opium is grown where Fatma lives, so less funding for development. Under this onslaught, families are selling daughters as young as 7 to buy food and pay debts. The practice of forced early marriages is deeply ingrained in the culture. But during hard times, like displacement by war, like this drought, the rate of child brides increases. Fatma's family has seen all these troubles. While refugees in Iran, to survive, they sold 2 daughters into marriage. Like Fatma, one was 11. That girl is now 16. She has 2 children. The other was sold at age 10. She's now 14 with an 18-month-old baby. Fatma's mother is 35. She just had her 7th child a week ago. Early marriage denies girls education and erodes their health, locking them into a cycle of pregnancy and childbirth. Forced marriages are also the cause of increasing numbers of attempted suicides by self-immolation, says the Afghan Independent Human Rights Commission. Aisha is 16. 2 years ago, she was forced to become a second wife. She was used like a slave by her husband's first wife and her mother-in-law. Her husband physically and emotionally abused her. Unable to endure anymore, she doused herself in kerosene. She suffered 3rd-degree burns to 85% of her body. All doctors could do was try to ease her pain. She died after several weeks. The bride option is not always a parent's first choice. When the drought took hold in Gore province, more than 100 families tried to register their children at a school in the capital because World Vision provides a food ration for students. Its Food for Education program draws some 75,000 children to schools. But at this school, there are 2,000 girls studying in 3 shifts. Desks are packed wall to wall, 3 girls to a desk. Classes spill out into the courtyard. There's just no space. We had to refuse 160 children, the headmaster told me. Fatma receives one of these rations at her school, but with 9 people in her family, it was not enough to save her. Outside Fatma's home, the dry wind whips dust like silt into the air. When the wind dies, the heat is stifling. Fatma sits by the open window, expressionless. We wanted to wait until Fatma was 20, says her mother. Her voice grows softer until it is nearly consumed by the surrounding silence. But we were forced to sell her. We are too many people in this family. We owe money, she says. The weight of her words is so final when she says, "There was no other way."